Okay guys, we're back out here. We're not going to start that today, but we will be starting it within the next day or two. I got to pull the door panel off and pop the door. I want to clear the bench off like last time. Okay. I threw a little guide coat on here. That's actual real guide coat. I just want to see if we give this a quick block, if we can identify the dent and what I'm going to have to do with the hammer and dolly work. So let's see what we got. Okay. That's just a couple of light passes. This isn't a low spot. I'm just hitting glue. Same with over here. And I obviously didn't put much effort into it. So this is a low. This is two highs. I don't think that's low. I don't think that's low. And I don't think that's low. This is just raised up. So if it was a perfect world, we got to get this up, that down. So, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do on this. So, I want to just figure out what I got before we strip this down and start to skim it. So, okay, we got the beam behind it, of course. So we're going to try and work it. We're not going to try and crush it in. We're trying to work the metal. So I got a feeling to work that metal flat, that divot in the center might get bigger because the metal's already stretched. So one thing at a time, and we'll see what we got. This is what separates the men from the boys. I guess this is where I land in the boys category. Okay, so basically at this point what I'm doing is I'm trying to use that beam to my advantage. And I'm using the shrinking hammer with the waffle end. And I'm not just whaling it, I'm bringing it down, I'm striking it down. I'm trying to get this metal back into here to the best of my ability. I know it's definitely gone in. I have no like dents because I'm not using the pick end, okay, but I am striking it in a half circle around because I hit metal here and I hit metal here. This was still like primer and this was still like primer here. So like I said, I'm trying slowly to work around. I did it for several minutes. Then I put this on, we'll let it sit, which is about ready, and I'll give it a block and see how it looks. Like I said, this is never going to come flush. It's in a hair, but I'm feeling this with my hand and it's starting to feel better. But we got to get that high flush. Okay, so it's definitely working. It's definitely working. I mean, I don't have the other padding in front of me, but I could see we were getting more and more here as we're touching this. Okay, and we're getting more and more here. I tell you, I can't feel that by hand, but it's either a tad bit low there or we're still riding off here, which I think would still be riding over here. This pattern is totally changing. Okay, so I think we're doing pretty good. You can see some of the areas actually went down a little bit, like right here. Must be where I'm hitting the hammer and dragging it. So I'm going to work this some more. And you know this, I don't want to go through the trouble of starting to bond them, and then these areas just keep popping and popping and popping. I'll tell you, it feels 1,000 times better already. It's deceiving because there is a low spot here. It's minute enough that you can just see we're starting to touch it in some areas. But so obviously this is getting wider as we're working this, and that's what we want. And obviously this is thin enough that the sandpaper is actually scratching it. That's always a good sign. And like I said, here I got a clump of glue, so every time I do it I hit the glue, you know, from the edge of the stuff. So I'm not worried about down there. And here I'm not going over to the end. That's why it's still black over there. So let's work on this some more and see how good we can get this. Okay, the china appears bigger because when I was done, I went over everything with the DA real quick. Didn't strip it down, I just did it to get any of the little bumps from the shrinking hammer off there. And then I just hit it with some stuff here. So let's just let this sit a minute and we'll block it again and see how we do. So I'm hoping to see this pattern start to spread out, and then I know we're good. And then we'll check it with some kind of straight edge. The door does have a bow to it, but we'll see how we are. Okay guys, the pattern has changed yet again. That's disappearing. You're starting to see a little black around it. Now bear in mind, this comes right off. There's no paint there. Okay, this has shrunk down. Okay, there's no oil canning. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this real quick with 80 grit on my longboard. Okay, then I'm gonna check it one more time, see how we stand. So if there is anything that's very slight, we can knock it off right now. You don't want to thin the metal too much. But I want to see if there's stuff I could just knock off and be done with this. So there's only so much pounding I'm going to be able to do on this fender because before I cause one of those oil candy dents or hit the pop. But we are so much better right off the bat, it's unbelievable. So, 80 gritted here. As you can see the pattern that has formed. Okay, then I worked it down one more time with the waffle end, pulling it all in. So let's give this a couple of minutes and see what it is. Like I said, the dent isn't going to disappear. We're just looking to flatten the metal to the best of our ability. Now, if I had a stud gun, I guess I could pull on the center a little bit and work that down, but I don't have a stud gun, and this door's got a beam in it, as you guys know, that runs across here. That was the problem we had with the other door. So it's not a matter of hammer and dollying it, so I can't get in there. So we're just trying our best to make this not an oil can dent, not a big gaping hole, because I could sit here and pound the shit out of this thing with the pick end of the hammer and just fill it. But we're trying to work the metal a little bit. So okay, so obviously this paint's going to come off before that. We know that. It's just a matter of, is there any high spots? So, okay, like I said, let's just see what we got. This might be hard to film with one hand holding the camera, but and the front of the door has a natural curve to it. The door bows that way. But that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the area in the center here. And then the door goes almost perfectly flat, no matter where it is. This curve, the shape in the door here and the shape in the door here are totally different than the shape is straight here. So along the bottom, the edge is straight. Along the top, the edge is almost perfectly straight. The more you get to the middle of the door, the more the door has a crown to it, and then it straightens out. All doors are like that. So if you want to block a door from end to end, you're going to have probably 1/4 inch of filler here, 1/4 inch of filler here, depending on how long the door is. But yeah, that's good. It's not rocking on anything here. Here's the pattern that has developed without going crazy. As you can see, I didn't go crazy sanding it. Gotta remember, hitting white is just like hitting metal here, because there's no paint here anymore. I took that all away. So we're starting to get scratches in here to show you how shallow that is. We now have sanding scratches up here. We now have sanding scratches over here. Well, except for that one area where the glue is. So you can see we barely hit this. And the same here because I'm hitting the front door. So, and it's nice when I run my hand across it, I can pick up the texture of this stuff here. It's rough. Okay? And then this part of the palm of my hand, I could just feel that. But when I'm up here, I'm actually pretty satisfied. So I'm thinking if we coat this from the roof to the rocket to the front to the back, we should be able to cover this up. No, I'm thinking we got the high spots under control. It didn't just come easy. Like I said, it took a lot of work to do it. And this has definitely risen up, and there's no like oily candy thing. Everything here is good. So with that, we can strip the door down and Bondo it. The reason I did this is I'm not ready to take the door off yet. I want to totally empty the bench, which I might do right after this. And I want to have this thing ready to go because I always mix up too much Bondo. So I want an area to start putting Bondo so I could start filling this and blocking it. So it's almost time to send Junior out here. We got to ditch the handles, pop off the chrome, get the rest of this off. It's only being held on with a couple of screws and that lock, and we can knock these two areas out. So I'm happy with this. This will be fine. This will be fine. So I guess that's it for a little while, guys. That might be it for tonight, actually. So just might take it a little easier tonight. So as long as I get something done, and I think I got something done.